Good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, The Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Today's editorial is an important editorial for two reasons. One, it goes with Indian economy, the most important area to be considered from the exam point of view. The other, there are a lot of words which you can learn from this editorial, and many of these words go with the exam point of view. They're very important. Now, how does the editorial start? A transient high. Transient means temporary, not permanent. A transition, something that happens for a short period. Record GST inflows are heartening, but major risks lie ahead. This editorial starts on a positive note, but it is rather cautious. If you ask me, sir, what is the tone of the editorial, my answer will be cautious. It starts on a positive note, but editorial talks about being cautious. As I said, this is an important editorial because you can learn a lot of important words, effective words. What are the words? More than 15 words you can learn. The first one is transient. Transient means temporary, not permanent. And there is, give me a second. Transient, an important word. Then heartening. Heartening is a positive word. Transient, a neutral word. Heartening means encouraging, something that is positive. A regime goes with polity, it means the rule. It goes with governments, it goes with a particular organization. Surpass, this goes with effective English as well as everyday English. Surpass means to exceed greatly. Disaster goes with effective English, and disaster is a negative word. Disaster means something that causes great damage. Uptick is an important word, means slight improvement, improvement but not to a great extent. Bolster, again, an important word. It means to strengthen up something. And spectre has got two different meanings. One meaning, spectre means something that is considered bad and people feel it is going to happen in future. The second meaning of the word spectre, it means ghost. Compliance, an important word, comply. It goes with rules and regulations. What does it mean? To follow. Probe goes with the police department. It means to investigate. Probe the case, a typical combination. Evade means to escape. Generally, we use the word evasive, and it goes with the word success. Success has been evasive for him. Means what? It has been escaping. Evade means escape. Now, besides these words from today's editorial, you're going to learn, you're going to work on important exercises from the exam point of view, exercises related to the exam topics. Today, you're going to work on close, not close, parajumble, and editorial, that means a passage. In a way, the editorial is nothing but a short passage. You're going to see five questions based on comprehension. You should be able to answer. After that, there's one exercise related to parajumble. And today, you're going to work on misspelt words. Misspelt words are very important from SBI clerk prelims point of view. And as usual, you're going to work on error location, errors. Now let us go to the editorial and see what is there to learn from today's editorial. A transient high. Whatever you see in red, they go with vocabulary, and whatever you see in green, go with grammar. Whatever you see in purple, go with phrases. All the three are important from the exam point of view. A transient high. It starts on a note, on a positive note. Here, the context is about GST inflows. What is the context about GST inflows? And the editorial says the GST inflows, they are on the positive side, and it starts with a positive note, a transient high, but cautious. And there's one important word here, transient. Transient means something that is temporary, not permanent, a changing phase. The main idea of the editorial, record GST inflows are heartening, but major risks lie ahead. As I said, it starts on a positive note. At the same time, it is rather cautious. So, record GST inflows or heartening. Heartening, again, an important word. It means something like encouraging. Why is it encouraging? Record GST inflows. The inflows of GST has been the impact or the returns have been on a record scale. So that is quite encouraging. But at the same time, contrasting word, grammar point of view, we use the word but to express a contrasting idea. But major risks lie ahead. So from this sentence, you can make out what exactly the writer wants to convey. Again, I said red means vocabulary, green means grammar. There's one important word. This is an important verb, lie ahead. In English, we have verbs and we have a separate category called confusing verbs. And we have two verbs. One is lie, the other one is lay. These two are really confusing, though you learn under pressure, not easy to handle. Lie could be a noun, it could be a verb. And as a noun, easy to handle, and as a verb, it could be a regular verb, it could be an irregular verb. As a regular verb, again, it is easy to handle, but the problem comes when you have to deal with the verb lie as an irregular verb. First, the problem starts with the forms lie, lay, laying. And it has got two meanings. One meaning to be in the horizontal position while relaxing, and the second meaning of the word lie, it means to be in a particular state for a long time. And the other word, lie, lay, laying. What is the past form of the word lie? Lay. There is another verb, lay, that results in confusion. Lay means to put something down. Usually it goes with babies, things, roads, foundation stone, rules and regulations. The minister has laid the foundation stone. So, what are the three forms of this particular verb? Lay, laid, laid. So, you got to be very careful. And the advantage of this editorial analysis, it is purely from proficiency point of view. I don't talk about intellectually, though I talk about information, knowledge, but the focus is completely on language proficiency. And whenever I come across a particular word or a particular expression, which I consider very important from the exam point of view, I will try to spend a few minutes because it is not about knowledge enrichment. The focus is not on knowledge, generally speaking, knowledge enrichment. It is more about language enrichment, proficiency in English. So do remember the word lie could be a noun, could be a verb, it could be a regular verb, it could be an irregular verb, and there's another verb, lay, laid, laid. In many exams, they have given questions related to lie and lay. That way, very important. Now, this is in this sentence itself, you can understand the main idea, what exactly the writer wants to convey. Now, let us go to the actual editorial. India's GST regime could not have hoped for a better start to its fifth year. Revenues from the tax hit an all time high of 1,41,384 crore in April, surpassing the previous month's record of about 1.25 lakh crore. Now there's substantial improvement. Where is 1.24? Where is 1.41? That is substantial improvement in terms of crores. And the first sentence is one important word, India's GST regime. A regime generally goes with governments. Regime means a rule. Today, imagine there's a particular party at the national level which is ruling, BJP. Then we say BJP regime means what? The rule of that particular party. And here it talks about GST regime. And after that, you see words in green. Could not have hoped. It could have hoped, or they could have hoped. They couldn't have hoped. This is an important helping verb. In English, we have helping verbs or models, and these are very important not only from the exam point of view, but also from group discussion and interview point of view. And we have two types of helping verbs or models, one word helping verbs and a few words considered one unit. This goes with the second one. And what is a function? What does it talk about? I could have done the work. Imagine, I would like to give another example. I could have come in time. I could have done the work. Means what? There was a possibility in the past for something to happen, but it did not happen. Based on that, we use, if that is a situation, we have to use could plus have plus verb, past participle form. Here, it is in the negative form. So don't consider the word not. Could have what is the main verb over here? Hope. And it's a regular verb. Hope, hoped, hope. India's GST regime could not have hoped for a better start to its fifth year. Something not expected, but it has happened. Revenues from the tax hit an all time high. This is an important phrase. Whatever you see in purple, do remember they go with phrases. All time high of 1.41 1,41,384 crore in April, surpassing another important word, surpass, to exceed greatly, overtake, exceed greatly. We use the word surpass. They have surpassed our expectations. Usually it goes with performance, expectations. And when you learn the words, please remember you have to learn simultaneously not only the meaning but also the word forms and the word combinations. From the exam point of view, word combinations and word forms are very important. After a disastrous period for the economy following last year's national lockdown, GST revenues hit 1.5 lakh crore in October and have shown a steady uptick since then, in tandem with hopes of a sustained recovery. A lengthy sentence. Whenever you come across a lengthy sentence in the exam or generally when you go for editorial reading, you don't worry. Try to read once, twice, thrice, then you will be able to understand. Some sentences are easy to understand. One reading, you can grasp the meaning of that particular sentence, but some sentences are not that easy. Even those who are good at English, sometimes they have to read certain sentences twice, thrice, and to comprehend what exactly the sentence talks about. So don't lose your confidence, don't worry. Read the sentence twice or thrice and see how to understand, how well you can understand the meaning of that particular sentence. Now, what does this sentence talk about? After a disastrous period, there's an important word, disastrous. Disaster means something that causes great damage. After a disastrous period for the economy, following last year's national lockdown, GST revenues hit 1.5 lakh crore in October and have shown it is in present perfect tense, an important tense from the exam point of view. Quite often they ask questions in the exam related to perfect tenses, especially present perfect and present perfect continuous. A steady uptick, another important word, uptick means slight improvement. Since then, and remember the preposition, this is actually a phrase, since so and so time, since then. And there are two prepositions which are very important from the exam point of view. One is since, the other one is for. Quite often they ask questions in so many competitive exams, they have given questions related to these two prepositions, since, for. Since could be a conjunction, it could be a preposition. In this context, it is a preposition. Now, what is the difference? If you're talking about a specific time, you have to use the word since. If you're talking about a time period, you have to use the word for. Since 1989, since 2005. Here, the time is very specific. Since October, since Monday, and for a time period, for 2 hours, for 3 days, for 9 months. Time period, remember you have to use the word for, and the specific time you have to use the word since. And this goes with common errors. Quite often, I see when I read the newspaper, some business houses they advertise. They say something like, "We have been in the business since 10 years." That is not correct. We have been in the business for 10 years or for the last 10 years, because 10 years is a time period. You cannot use the word since. Now, let us go to the next sentence. April's numbers, which are essentially driven by the transactions in March, were bolstered by heightened economic activity, no doubt. And this talks about the improvement. And there's one important word, bolster. Bolster means strengthen up, to make something very strong. The specter of rising COVID 19 cases and the fear of an impending lockdown could also have driven people to make advance purchases in anticipation. Again, a lengthy sentence. There's one important word, there's something from grammar point of view important, and there's one important phrase. The specter. Now, let us take the first word in this sentence. Specter has got two different meanings. That's what I said at the outset. Spectre, generally, it means a ghost. But in this context, it doesn't mean that. Spectre means something that is bad and people think it is going to happen in future. The specter of rising COVID-19, in a way, it means something like apprehension. Apprehension, a feeling that something bad is going to happen, a feeling that something negative is going to happen. And the specter of what? Rising COVID 19 cases and the fear of an impending lockdown, another important word. Impending means what? Likely to happen, going to happen sooner or later. Impending lockdown, the fear of impending lockdown could also have driven people, to make advance purchases in anticipation. Could have driven. This talks about a possibility or something was to happen and it did not happen. That is one meaning, as I said. But here it has got another connotation. I could have done, they could have, it could have driven people. That is, it doesn't go with that meaning. Here, could as a helping verb, it has got four meanings. In this context, one of the meanings it talks about possibility. It talks about what possibility, but the chances are less. The chances are less. I would like to give one example. He could be on the way. When I say he may be on the way, it is easy to understand. He could be on the way. It means what? There is a possibility. May also talks about possibility, but the chances are more. Could also talks about possibility, the chances are less. And there's one important phrase here, in anticipation. You expect something to happen, anticipate, to expect, to predict, to guess what is going to happen in future. In anticipation is a standard phrase. Moreover, firms in the process of closing annual accounts may have remitted higher GST based on audit advice, while a gradual tightening of the compliance regime and proactive coordinated probes against taxpayers using fake bills to evade liabilities have played no small part. Now, this sentence looks like a paragraph, a very lengthy and not easy to understand in one reading. You have to read twice or thrice. What does it talk about? It talks about the different reasons for high returns. In a nutshell, what does the sentence talk about? It talks about the different reasons or the reasons behind the high returns of GST. Moreover, what could be one of the reasons? Moreover, firms in the process of closing annual accounts may have remitted higher GST based on audit advice. That is one reason. And there's one important word, I should have given it in green. There's a particular category when it comes to vocabulary, confusing words. ADVISE, careful with the spelling. Here it is VICE. Here, if you use the spelling VISE, it is a verb, but here it is a noun. How to remember? There's a particular technique. If you take the last four letters, what are the last four letters? Vice. Vice could be an adjective, it could be a noun. Here I would like to talk about vice as a noun. Vice singular, vices plural. Means what? Bad habit or bad habits. Vice, bad habit. Vice is bad habits. What is opposite word? Virtues, good habits. Generally, we talk about a particular person. We talk about his virtues and vices. Virtues means good qualities. Vices means bad qualities. Once you know vice is a noun, then here VICE, it's a noun. And here VISE, it's a verb. That's very important. In many competitive exams, they have given questions related to these two words because they're very confusing. Here, it may look very easy for you, but do remember, while taking the exam, you're under tremendous pressure. Under pressure, not easy to, you may overlook, not, you may take things for granted. You're not easy to get the difference between these two words based on the spellings. While another reason, while a gradual tightening of the compliance regime, regime is a noun. It means what? The rule. And there's one word, generally we use the word compliance as a noun, but here it has been used as an adjective. Comply, it comes from the word comply. Comply means what? To follow, and it goes with rules and regulations. And proactive, this is an important word. Tomorrow you get selected, and at the workplace, people expect you, the management expects you to be proactive. What is the meaning of the word proactive? Proactive means to take the initiative. Before someone tells you to do something, you do it based on the situation. Then people call you. You're a proactive manager, or proactive person. Proactive coordinated probes. As I said, usually it goes with investigation, and here also it goes with the same meaning. It takes the same meaning. Probe means what? Probe can be a verb, it can be a noun. Here it has been used as a noun. Probe means to investigate against taxpayers using fake bills to evade liabilities have played no small part. Have played, it is in present perfect tense. And no small part, that's a phrase. It means what? They have played a major part. And there's one important word, evade. Evade means what? To avoid or to escape. Let us go to the next one. Excuse me. In April 2020, GST collections had dipped to a mere 32,172 crore after all activity ground to a halt at 4 hours notice in late March. Last year, you all know, in the month of March, the center announced a lockdown, and that time it dipped immediately in April. After March, next month, April, it had dipped, means went down. Collections had dipped to a mere 32,000, 1 lakh plus from that to 32,172 crore after all activity ground to a halt. This is an important phrase. Something has come to, we say it has come to a stop. It has become standstill. For that, there's one important phrase. Ground to a halt means no improvement, no development. At 4 hours notice in late March, economic activity may not yet be as badly affected amidst the pandemic's second wave. Now, it is the initial stage. That's what the sentence talks about. Economic activity may not yet be as badly affected. May not yet be. This is an important expression, important from grammar point of view. May talks about the helping verb may. It has got two functions. One, it is very important. It expresses permission in a formal situation. May I come in, sir? May I use your laptop, sir? It talks about permission. And what is the second function of the helping verb may? It means possibility, but the chances are more. May not yet be. Yet talks about a contrast. Yet talks about a contrast. As badly affected amidst the pandemic's second wave. It is too early to talk about the complete negative impact of the pandemic during the second wave. So far, going by the restrictions imposed in several states, supply chain disruptions are not expected to be as challenging. There's one word here, disruptions. Disrupt means interrupt. Interrupt what? Supply chain. Are not expected to be as challenging. We don't expect something to be and not expected to be. It is in passive voice. Again, important from grammar point of view. However, weakening demand will trigger a recalibration of production and investment plans, some of which has begun to kick in. Recalculation of production and investment plans, some of which has begun to kick in. Begin, began, begun, has begun. It is in present perfect tense. To kick in, a standard phrase. To begin, kick in, to start. Consider some indicators. Now, usually what happens, the writers, they make a statement, they try to substantiate. Now, here the writer wants to substantiate the statement in the previous paragraph. Consider some indicators. Major two-wheeler producers saw sales plummet by around a third in April. Plummet is an important word. It means what? To come down suddenly, rapid fall or sudden fall by around a third in April compared to March. Plant shutdowns have gradually begun to reduce inventory buildups. Have gradually begun. Begin, began, begun. Again, it is in past participle form. In a report, Wall of Worry, CRISIL has warned of several indicators sliding since mid April, including GST e way bills, which fell by over 6%, 2 weeks in a row. Here, there's one important, whatever you see in green related to grammar, CRISIL has warned of. It is in present perfect. See how many times we have come across present perfect tense. It is really important. In a report, Wall of Worry, CRISIL has warned of several indicators Sliding means coming down since mid April, including GST e-way bills, which fell by over 6% 2 weeks in a row. That is on the negative side. Manufacturing orders growth hit an 8-month low in April as per IHS market. That also talks about the slide or the negative trend. And the pandemic surge means sudden forward movement, sudden increase. And the pandemic surge and desperate shortage of health infrastructure have prompted industry leaders to pitch for a stringent lockdown. Desperate means badly in need of something, desperate for a job, badly in need of a job. And the pandemic surge, sudden increase, and desperate shortage of health infrastructure. Remember this phrase, you may get a passage related to health infrastructure. That's an important one. Have prompted industry leaders, again the sentence is in present perfect, to pitch for a stringent lockdown. There's an important phrase. Usually the word stringent, it means very strict. It goes with the rules and regulations. Here it has been used with the word lockdown. Stringent lockdown. What does it mean? Very strict lockdown. It would be foolhardy. Foolhardy is an important word. It means to be very bold, foolishly bold or rash. Foolishly bold or rash. Recklessly bold or rash. It would be foolhardy now to expect GST and other tax revenues to stay robust. Robust means very strong till the government gets a better grip on infections and vaccinations. At this stage, we cannot expect the same growth to continue. With the assembly polls over, the center must urgently convene the GST Council. Now, the focus of the center should be on convening the GST Council and what is expected over there. To add to what is already pending, rationalization of GST rate slabs, a rejig of rates on critical pandemic supplies, and the prickly issue of bringing fuel under GST, the Council must begin gearing up early for shortfalls in GST compensation to states that may arise this year. Something negative may happen. GST compensation to states, which happened last year. And how does the editorial end? India can ill afford a repeat of the 2020 face off. Face off is something like confrontation. Ill afford means that's an important expression. We cannot afford to do something or to go ahead with something. India can ill afford means India cannot afford a repeat of the 2020 phase of confrontation between the center and states that almost upended. That's an important word. Upend means to turn something on its end or to turn something upside down, change the situation completely from positive to negative. Upended the very spirit of cooperative federalism that GST emerged from. India is a federal country. It is quasi federal, not completely federal, quasi federal. There's one important expression. QUASI, quasi federal, means what? Neither central nor state, neither center oriented nor state oriented, neither union nor federal. That means what? Partly it is the powers are with the center and a few powers are with the state. So quasi federal. So the very spirit of cooperative federalism the GST emerged from. So this is an important editorial. Do remember, whatever goes with Indian economy, you are likely, there's every possibility for that to come in the exam as a passage. And this is an important editorial because so many words to learn from this editorial. Now, let us go to the enrichment part from this editorial, especially from vocabulary point of view. Vocabulary from the editorial. What is the first word you have learned? Transient. Transient means lasting for a short time. Means what? Temporary. An important word. Heartening, encouraging, regime, a rule, surpass, greatly exceed. Surpassing means what? Greatly exceeding others. Disaster, from that you get disastrous, causing great damage. Uptick, a small increase, not substantial, only a little. Bolster, support or strengthen up. Strengthen up. Spectre, idea of something bad, one meaning. And what is other meaning? Ghost. In this context, it doesn't go with ghost, it goes with idea of something bad likely to happen in future. Compliance, to follow. Usually it goes with rules and regulations. Probe, investigation, probes, investigations. And evade means to avoid, to escape. Disrupt, from that you get the word disruptions, interrupt. Plummet, steep or rapid fall. Something comes down suddenly, rapidly. And steep means very sharp. Desperate, badly in need. A typical combination. Many youngsters are desperate for a job, desperate for something, badly in need of something. Foolhardy, an important word. Recklessly bold or harsh. Appended. Append means to turn something on its end, upside down. On its end or upside down. Ill effort, another important expression. To be unable to afford. We can't afford to do something. Now let us go to the comprehension part, and based on that, questions based on the editorial, reading comprehension. The typical question, whenever you read an editorial, you just relax and recollect what you have read. Ask the question, ask yourself the question, what is this editorial about? You should be able to get the answer and try to write that answer. Initially, you may not be able to write a lot of sentences. Try to write at least one sentence. This editorial is all about GST inflows, high GST inflows. Whatever words you want to use, try to use, but the meaning should be conveyed. What is the tone of the editorial? As I said, the tone of the editorial is rather cautious. It starts with on a positive note, but it is rather cautious. And these, what could also have driven people to make advanced purchases in anticipation. Always take the key words in the question and look for those keywords in the passage or the editorial. You find the answer. And these questions are very easy. These questions we call questions based on explicit information. Means what? The previous one, what is the tone of the editorial? This goes with implicit, implied. But the third question, explicit. Take the keywords, look for the keywords in the passage or the editorial, you find the answer. Anyone can do that. All that you need, navigation skill. You should locate where those keywords are, then you get the answer. What have prompted industry leaders to pitch for a stringent lockdown? Again, this question is based on explicit information. First, you grasp the keywords and try to look for those keywords in the editorial, you get the answer. What appended the very spirit of cooperative federalism, the GST last year? Here, the GST shouldn't have been there. What appended the very spirit of cooperative federalism last year? Then again, the keywords appended the spirit of cooperative federalism last year. You can easily locate the answer. Now, let us go to exam topics, the exercises. The first one, error location. Compounding their worries are the unabated increase in number of people testing positive for COVID-19, including hundreds of bank employees and officers. A lengthy sentence. Nowadays, they're giving lengthy sentences, so when you practice these sentences in the exam, it will be easy for you to answer the questions. Now, this is not a tough question. Here, compounding their worries. This is considered the subject, not the word worries. Compounding, this is a key word. It is something. It is considered singular. Based on that, compounding their worries, what is the unabated, what is the reason for unabated increase? Here, people or students or candidates, they focus on the word worries and they think it is correct, but it is not correct. What is the reason? Here, the subject is compounding their worries, something, and compounding, that is singular. Then we cannot use the verb in the plural form. It should be is the unabated increase without any control in number of people testing positive for COVID 19, including hundreds of bank employees and officers. This question is related to subject verb agreement or concord, an important one. Let us go to the next one. He deplored that the short supply of vaccines was subjected elderly people, particularly those suffering from underlying medical conditions, to severe inconvenience in getting vaccinated against COVID 19. This is a bit difficult for two reasons. It's a very lengthy sentence, it looks like a paragraph, and not easy to locate the error. He deplored that the short supply of vaccines was subjected elderly people. Now, when you see was subjected, you may think this is in passive voice because the helping verb to be in the past and the verb in past participle form, and you may think the word by is missing. But if you add the word by, it doesn't make any sense. He deplored that the short supply of vaccines was subjected by elderly people. That doesn't go with the context. It doesn't make any sense. Then you should not think in those lines. He deplored that the short supply of vaccines was something was subjecting elderly people. So here, subjected is not correct. It should be subjecting. He deplored that the short supply of vaccines, he must have said, is subjecting elderly people. But when you change it to reported speech, present continuous changes to past continuous. He deplored that the short supply of vaccines was subjecting elderly people. That is correct. Subjected is not correct. And what is this question about? It is about word forms. The right word, but the wrong form. An important question. The CBI later submitted in the court that despite of this is an easy one. In so many competitive exams, they have given this combination, which is not correct. In spite of, again, in spite of people make a mistake, we have to use in spite of as three separate words. People write in spite one word of one word. That is not correct. In spite of, and here we can use the preposition of, but despite does not take the preposition of. This is an easy question. We have observed that it is affecting the younger population in a big way, including those who are fitness freaks and have high immunity level. Level is not correct. It should be levels. They have high immunity levels. We don't use the word level in the singular form because of the standard phrase. Immunity levels, not level, immunity levels. Mr. Biden should seize this opportunity and try to reach common ground with Mr. Kim that address both North Korea's economic worries and the US nuclear concerns. Now, Biden should seize this opportunity, singular, and try to reach common ground with, this is not important, common ground is singular. Sentence is in present tense. Ground third person singular. Present tense affirmative. Then you have to recollect the rule. We should add s or es to the verb. What is the verb here? Address is not correct. It should be addresses. To reach common ground that addresses both, then it is correct. Not an easy one under pressure. Now let us go to parajumble. Now we'll take elimination approach emphasized in 1856 that, then you cannot consider that, it cannot be the first sentence, focused on acknowledging the interconnectedness of animals, humans, and the environment, an approach referred to as One Health. But again, it doesn't make any sense, cannot be the first sentence. As cannot be the first sentence. Discussions that took place around the World Veterinary Day on April 24, 2021. Perhaps this could be considered, but it talks about a particular person, and based on that, some information. The father of modern pathology, Rudolf Virchow, this should be the first sentence. Emphasized, he said something, he emphasized something. The father of modern pathology, Rudolf Virchow, emphasized what? When in 1856 that there are essentially no dividing lines between animal and human medicine. And this is an idea. This concept, an idea, a concept. This concept is even more, ever more salient. Why? Here, this is a third one because it's an idea or a concept, and this concept, this is demonstrative adjective, continuity of thought, line of thought. This concept is ever more salient. Why? As the world continues to grapple with the COVID 19 pandemic. All the four are related to one particular idea. Then, discussions that took place around the World Veterinary Day on April 24, 2021 focused on acknowledging the interconnectedness of animals, humans, and the environment, an approach referred to as One Health. This is this is the fifth one, and this is the last one. These two are related. One, two, three, four, one idea, and five and six, one idea. Let us have a look at the sequence. The father of modern pathology, Rudolf Virchow, emphasized in 1856 that there are essentially no dividing lines between animal and human medicine. This concept is ever more salient. Why? As the world continues to grapple with the COVID 19 pandemic. Discussions that took place around World Veterinary Day on April 24, 2021, focused on something. Always, you should focus on the key words emphasized this concept. Why? As the world continues, then a new idea, discussion that took place focused on something. Then you get the line of thought that is very important. Now, prelims point of view, this exercise is relevant. What is this? Misspelled words or inappropriate words. Again, lengthy sentences intentionally I have brought challenging. Those citizens and governments came to be exposed to the debilitated impact of COVID 19 in the course of these elections. Voter turnout did not see any major decline. Here, this is a difficult one, but the clue for you impact is a noun. Before that, you should use the adjective form. Debilitate means to weaken something, to make someone or something become weak. And here, debilitated is not correct, it should be debili- debilitating. This is I. Debilitating, not debilitated. The correct form, debilitating impact. Debilitating is the adjective form. The work on the project has continued despite the second week of lockdown in the capital that has brought most construction sites to a grounding halt. Lengthy sentence, the last one. It is not grounding halt, it should be grinding halt. What is it? Grinding halt, stopping to make something stand still. Contrary to the minister's claim, locals and relatives of the deceased said patients on ventilators choked to death, an important expression, choked to death, as the medical facility ran out of oxygen around midnight. Run out of, to use something completely, past ran out of. Now, where is the error? Here, this has been given in many exams. It is not deceased, it talks about deceased. This talks about a particular disease, but the context talks about dead people. Deceased means dead people. Deceased people means what? Dead people. And the spelling is Deceased. Deceased. Deceased person, a dead person. And this talks about the regular diseases. This is not the right word, not appropriate. The Election Commission of India (ECI) on Monday deferred the election to two assembly seats in West Bengal and a by-election in Odisha in view of the COVID-19 situation. Now again there is a problem here. Defer. There are two confusing words. One is defer, the other one defer. DIFFER. Defer means not to agree, but DEFER means to postpone. Here the right word should have been deferred, means to postpone. Defer means what? Postpone. Even this has been given in many exams. A senior official of the Ministry of Home Affairs said on Monday that there was adequate oxygen supplies available in the country. There was, that is singular. Then you cannot say supplies, it should be adequate supply of oxygen. Adequate oxygen supply available in the country. Supplies is not the right word, it should be supply. So all these go with either misspelt or inappropriate words. That's all from today's editorial analysis. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. I will see you tomorrow.